Spectrum wants to hear your views. You can SMS at any time during the show. Type Spectrum, leave a space, type in your contribution and name, then send it to 7197. Your views, our interviews on Spectrum, Radio 1 FM 90.
Hello, a very warm welcome. This is Spectrum on Radio 1. I'm your host, Edmond Kizito. On Spectrum tonight, the sudden death of Honorable Cerinah Nebanda. MPs bitter about how investigations are being handled. What lessons can the country take from this tragedy? Parliament has adjourned for the special sitting to pay tribute to fallen Buteleja County MP Cerinah Nebanda amidst controversies surrounding the investigation into her death. The burial, which was supposed to take place on Thursday, has now been stopped and the body taken to Mlago Medical School, where it will be kept until Friday. Yesterday, President Museveni, while addressing, well, basically on Friday, there's going to be a new session of Parliament. The special session, which was supposed to take place today, will actually take place on Friday. Yesterday, President Museveni, while addressing mourners at the family home of the deceased, said people who continue to speculate about the cause of her death will be arrested, insisting that the final results will be made public in about a week. This has, however, been rejected by MPs, who insist the public must be free to discuss the life of the deceased legislator. It also emerged that a pathologist who had been sanctioned by Parliament and the family of the late MP, that is Dr. Sylvester Onzivwa, was blocked from traveling to South Africa at Entebbe Airport by police, who say that the body parts he was taking for further high-level investigations had been acquired irregularly. MPs who have since today been part of the most post-mortem investigations indicated that the body parts had been given to Dr. Onzivwa through a transparent process at Mulago Hospital in the presence of all the relevant government officials. The MPs, led by Chinchizi East MP, Dr. Chris Barriomonse, insist that the police is being unreasonable and that as a team, they have now decided to pull out of all further investigations. Now, many questions are being asked, both inside and outside of Parliament. But the major question is, how did the youthful legislator actually meet her death? Many people are also asking, can the state be trusted to carry out an investigation and produce acceptable results, considering past cases? So tonight on Spectrum, we look at some of these questions as we pay tribute to the late Honorable Cerinah Nebanda. Our guests tonight, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Olusegun Omona, Member of Parliament for Keberamaido County from the NRM Party. You're most welcome, Honorable Omona.
Thank you.
We're also joined by Mr. Nicholas Opiyo, legal consultant at AKIJUL, also a commentator on social and political affairs. You're most welcome, Mr. Nicholas Opiyo.
Well, thank you very much, Edmond. It seems that today you have decided to hold a very youthful show. I'm delighted to be in the company of the good doctor, who I must admit is a medical doctor, so maybe he's going to give us more inside information about what will happen. Yeah.
Well, we are also joined by Honorable Bernard Atiku, Member of Parliament for Ayivu County from the FDC Party. He's joining us on the line. You're most welcome, Honorable Bernard Atiku.
Thank you, Edmond, and colleagues in the studio.
Honorable Atiku, where are you and what's happening where you are right now?
Currently on road to Chireka, where Dr. Atiku is being held. We treat consultations and discuss that he's being held in Chireka.
That's the doctor who was taking samples to South Africa? That's the doctor who was taking samples to South Africa for a post-mortem and who was arrested by police, is that right?
Exactly. He's being held in Chireka, so we're going there.
We'll get back to you shortly as part of this discussion tonight. Nicholas, Honorable Kenneth Omona, what is the latest regarding the sudden death of Honorable Cerinah Nebanda?
Thank you, my brother, and thank you, dear listeners. Good evening. The latest about this, first of all, surely my very sincere condolences to the family of Nebanda Cerinah, whom I knew when I was still a medical student in Makere University. In fact, we used to provide medical care to the family. And thus I got to know her when she was also a young girl and a student also. By then I was still at medical school. My very, very sincere condolences to the family at this difficult time. And of course, we miss her as a colleague. Not just as a colleague, but as a young, resourceful person who has gone off too early. Now, maybe very quickly about the latest. Just apologize for the question you have asked. Is that today we had a special sitting of Parliament where we are supposed to pay a special tribute to the late Honorable Nebanda, who passed away on 14th of this month. What transpired was that I think what has interfered with this was that from what we have learned, that there was some problem, inconsistency in the way that the team that was constituted to investigate what exactly was the death. So there was a problem with the consistency in the agreement that they have had with the result that one doctor, a pathologist, Dr. Onzibo Sylvester, who incidentally happened to have been my lecturer at the medical school, that was arrested, he was arrested with the body parts. This of course include samples that were used, supported use for pathological investigations in South Africa. And tempers flared in Parliament because the team, part of the members of Parliament that were in this team, who were part of the discussion of the way forward in how they proceed with the investigation, reported that they had agreed that let there be different angles, different parties in the investigation for fairness and transparency, that government also carries out an investigation, and that an independent pathologist hired by the family and the Parliament also carries out another investigation, so that maybe at the end they can compare this. And I've also learned that part of the sample was supposed to be flown to Israel, I think to UK or something like that. So a number of technical sources were being sought in this investigation. So what happened was that we are told Dr. Onzibo was arrested at the airport with an allegation that he was carrying these body parts without permission. In other words, that he was smuggling this out of the country. So this is what happened, and what happened in Parliament was that temper flared, and I think this was understandable. So the House adjourned to give time for this committee, a team that was constituted, to consult and see how to proceed. And they, of course, there also proposals that if there need be, because the samples with which Dr. Onzibo was got could have been either mismanaged, mishandled, that there could be a need to get other samples, and probably this would be easier if the body was not yet buried. So the funeral program that was arranged earlier has been postponed, and the House is going to sit again on Friday, 10 o'clock, to see what the consultations would have come up with. So this is what transpired this afternoon and evening in Parliament.
How could she have met her death as a doctor?
Well, very sad, very sad. The last time I saw Honorable Nebanda was when we had the President was in Parliament, and that was on Thursday.
Thursday last week.
Yes, Thursday. That's when I last saw her. And the following day, when she died, actually I was from a jail somewhere, I only got a text from a journalist, and later on followed by a call from another journalist telling me that they have had one of the bandits dead. I asked where is she. They told me she's in Sunday Hospital. Immediately I called the doctor who worked at Sunday Hospital, and he wasn't around then. He wasn't in hospital actually. It was a little late. And from this source, I think he also failed to get clear what it was, but I think it was wrong. She was not in the Sunday Hospital. She was in another hospital which happened to be in Zambia, Mukwaya or something. Anyway, what I think I know is that, from what I gather, is that this is a sudden death. She woke up well that day, and from what we are trying to hear was that she fell ill around about 4 p.m. in the evening, and her condition worsened. The people around her sought some medical help, which didn't help. Then finally she was delivered to a hospital for medical help, and I say by the time she was delivered, she was dead. And I say by the time she reached there, she was still alive. So these are things we are still waiting for. But what I want to say is that it is a sudden death. It occurred quickly. It was an acute thing. Now, from the preliminary autopsy results that were given to us. I didn't attend, I didn't go to theater myself. If I was there, I would have gone there. I was out of town. But we were told by those who attended that the suspect, they ruled out other causes of death like physical injury, strangulation and so on. They ruled out things like
heart attack,
cerebral, cardiovascular accidents.
That's a heart attack.
Yes, heart attack, maybe a busted vessel in the head, something like that. All those were ruled out. So probably what would have caused this is either maybe some kind of chemical injury to the body or something like that.
A chemical substance in her body?
Maybe. Now all this you cannot tell this unless you have done toxicological or other pathological examination on either tissues, either for changes in the body tissues or changes in the chemicals in the body. You cannot conclude that.
Nicholas Opiyo, as you give us your own oversight, where do we have information about where she was before she was taken to this residence in Boziga?
Well, first, my deepest condolences to the family, the immediate family, to the people of Butaleja that she represented in Parliament, but also to the people of this country, especially of my generation. The Honorable Nebanda was a leader of our generation, somebody who gave up all the luxuries of life to go in the rough and tumbles of politics. At a time when young people think more about the English premiership, about the latest cars, she chose to go and serve the people of our district, and it was quite admirable. She did that with a lot of zeal, a lot of determination. She was a fearless legislator. She didn't let her age let her down. She stood to the powers that be and spoke truth to power.
She spoke truth to power.
Even at the most inconvenient time. A time when MPs are grappling to get the favors of the president and appear to be praise singers, she didn't care about that, cared more about what the people of our constituency wanted. And she was doing a good job. So her loss is a great loss to our country. Now, to the extent that investigations are still going on, we've got to be a bit too careful about what we say about the causes of death, what happened before she died, because frankly speaking, we don't know. I think the police has not been very helpful in releasing information to the public as to what they've been able to gather. I think that what has happened has been shrouded in rumors, secrecy, and a lot of things that are left to suspicion. And you see, if you let suspicion ferment, it might probably just become, talk of the day, and people might take it as gospel truth. So I honestly think that in the management of information, our police has not been up to speed with providing information, with assuring the public that they have to be confident that investigations will be completed and that it will be a thorough investigation. What I do take exception with is the rather lousy manner in which we have treated this death.
Who?
All of us. All of us. Even before the body was taken for autopsy, we had information coming out. We had, social media, we had newspapers, we had, all sorts of people speculating as to what has happened. You then have a process that has commenced. You have the whole IGP saying that drugs and alcohol, even before I think he saw the dead body. For me, that was lousy. Then you have a process that we then begin to investigate. Certain things are agreed upon. There's a whole turnaround by the police in arresting the doctor. I think that has inflamed the situation and only helped to fuel suspicion, which is ripe among the public, that her nemesis, maybe government, maybe folks in government, maybe folks in her private life, could have been involved in her death. I think that what the police has done has only
maybe folks. What's the word you're using? Folks.
People. Folks means people.
It's an American word.
Yeah, people in their life, in our life. I mean, we have all sorts of speculation. Now, what you have going around is about the boyfriend having been killed as well. So you don't even know what is happening. I think the police needs to manage information properly.
Some people have said his boyfriend has been killed.
Exactly. So if you don't manage information, you then leave it to suspicion, and I think that is bad for our country. And of course, the despicable event in Parliament this afternoon. You have a dead body, for God's sake. We'd gone to pay last respects not to score political points, not to try and throw ourselves about to show that we care more about the dead body. I can only imagine what the family is going through, that you have a dead body in the house that is being moved back and forth. First and foremost, that was cut apart, samples removed from all body organs. The body was reconstructed, taken back to the home, gone to Parliament, now gone back to police, to Mulago. It's just disgusting. I think that we don't have to treat dead bodies that way, much less an MP. I think what has happened is despicable, is shameful, and only help to fuel speculation that her death has been caused by her nemesis and people who are in her life. And I think that the police has got to allay public concern, because whatever they're going to do, there's going to be doubt about the credibility of their investigations. Because once somebody is dead, it's not a police dead body, it's a family dead body. The family deserves the right to know what caused her death if they doubt the official government investigations. And I think that the actions of the police has not helped us in any way, but rather only inflamed what was already a very sorrowful state of affairs.
Honorable Atiku, what has police unearthed so far? Do we have any information that you've been able to put together from your visit to Chireka and from before that?
When I went on our way, there's a lot of them in our narrative. But we have confirmed Dr. Silva is being held there, and everyone will confirm that he is in that facility, and then embark on the process of getting out of the place. Why do you think he's been arrested? Why is he being treated like that? Of course, I think it's now public information for the reason why he's being held. But we have now lost trust in the police, because Dr. Silva has been doing what a pathologist, a government pathologist does, and to have an instant time to go to South Africa or to UK, whatever such is the occasion of entrusted to him. So in this particular case, it was the institution of Parliament which hosted this service to do the independent investigation. Not actually the investigation, but do the examination and bring the results back to the country and be analyzed as a team to come up with the possible cause of death of our honorable colleagues.
All right. Okay.
Actually, the doctor should have traveled to South Africa yesterday. But by yesterday morning, there was still confusion, left and right, and until this morning, when he was actually confronted by policemen who told him to surrender the body parts in his possession. And he refused. He said, no, my dead body, I cannot surrender this body parts. And I'm a professional, I'm doing my work, which was entrusted unto me by a team of interested stakeholders. And I think it was until that they discovered that he was not about to surrender this body part that they have to now arrest him together with the body part. And that is why he is in Chireka, because he refused to surrender first and foremost the body part and start to work his assignment he has given the father.
All right, let's get some facts clear. As soon as the Honorable Minister, the MP was there, she was taken to Mulago Hospital. Dr. Chris Barrios, who was a specialist, Dr. Bitek Kerezo, made at Bitek. They went to Mulago and carried out an autopsy on that body, and they wanted a second opinion. So they, as a commissioner, Dr. Barrios is a commissioner of Parliament, they wrote director of CID.
Emmanuel Dombo was there as well.
Emmanuel Dombo, but these are the two doctors, Dr. Bitek and Dr. Barrios. Dr. Sam Yomoki was there as well. So they agreed to get a second opinion. They addressed a press conference on Sunday, and they agreed to get a second opinion, and asked, as Parliament, asked Dr. Nzemvua, who works with Mulago Hospital, to go to South Africa. And police says that's improper.
You see, I have before me
Let's hear from him.
I have before me here police press statement.
Yeah, let's hear this confirmation from Dr. Honorable Atiku. Is that the sequence of events? Would you like to confirm that for us, since you are an MP?
The sequence of events is correct, as you have said.
Yes.
That all these were done in consultations, and actually, Dr. Atiku is the government servant, civil servant. So there shouldn't have been any worries as to why he wouldn't do the work as expected and bring the results.
But I think one thing they are not.
Yep.
It's a very lot of suspicion on the side of the police.
All right.
The ICC.
All right. The Inspector General, well, the police spokesperson, the police has issued a statement. They are saying that he was actually trying to smuggle the samples out of the country. Why was he smuggling these samples? Why not do things about it?
All that is one word. And you saw the reaction of members of parliament on the floor because everything has been documented. The people who actually have seen people who took the decision on who should go to Africa, who should go to the United Kingdom, and who should go to the government membership. And also, while they were dividing the samples of the body parts that were supposed to be taken for investigation. So, the list of the names was read by Honorable Bariomo, which list was actually written on by the members who attended that meeting in person. So really, everything is authentic, and it's a big shame on the side of government and also the police, and I think it's time now to dissolve this institution called the police because...
Well, okay, let's stick with it. Okay, okay, it's all right. Okay. All right. Okay, Atiku, we'll get back to you, Honorable. First of all, Honorable Omona, where is the irregularity? Can you point that out to us? Dr. Nzimvua and...
I need to correct this. You know, taking this samples in South Africa and taking this other body parts was not seeking second opinion. This is the process. You know, in this investigation to find cause of death, you do the microscopic examination. That is what you see with the naked eye. That begins from, in fact, let me say, in this kind of investigation, you begin with the history. And you need to take a thorough history about the victim, if you are able. This, of course, involves friends, relatives, and so on. Those associated with the person, and so on. Then when you go to the body now, you first view the body like the way you find it. Okay, it tells a lot about the body. Then you now go in, open and examine the organs, the body tissue, and so on. Now this is a microscope. What you see. Okay, now this was done. Now the other process involve pathological studies, investigations, which is both clinical and anatomical. You now get those body parts, put them under investigations. When the body cells are injured, when they're insulted, either physically, chemically, okay, they undergo certain changes that you can see under the microscope. With that, you can treat them with certain chemicals, and it shows certain kind of change. When there are certain chemicals in the body, there are certain tests that you go through. So this was not a second opinion, but just a continuation of the process of finding the cause of death.
This could not be done in Mulago.
Now, some are actually done. Some of them are done by the government chemists.
Yes.
But for fairness and transparency in this.
So Dr. Nzimvua was doing something procedurally correct.
Now, Dr. Nzimvua's service was procured by Parliament.
Yes.
As another independent.
Why was it stopped by police?
Now, from what I hear, I didn't attend this. From what I hear was that they had agreed. The meeting agreed. And of course, what I know for sure is that there are guidelines as far as investigations and movement of body parts are involved. But I expect that this meeting has sorted out the procedure, the guidelines of moving this.
All right.
It's not the first time that this was done. Now, if it was true that they had agreed that Dr. Nzimvua moves with this specimen to South Africa, then let them arrest him. I think this is wrong.
This is Spectrum on Radio. I want to go for a break. We'll be back to stay tuned.
The Dubai Shopping Festival is back in January, so you need to know a few bargaining tricks to get the very best prices. First, pretend you don't like the item.
Madam, isn't it beautiful?
Ah, it's falling apart.
Then walk to the door, but hesitate just a little.
Madam, wait.
Now, make a lowball offer.
Okay, 20 dirhams. Last price.
Not again. Okay.
And finally, fly in comfort with Emirates award-winning service and entertainment and arrive fresh and ready to shop. Book now. Call Emirates on 417-710-444 or visit emirates.com/UG. Fly Emirates. Hello tomorrow.
Excuse me, guys. Let me through, please.
Yes.
What?
Check this guy. Goodness, dude, what are you doing? Get real.
Just move
Just
a little.
what?
A little bit.
Man, what are you doing bringing a cow into the sitting room?
It's just for when I want milk.
Just what?
Just please move. Let it come and sit here.
What's wrong with this guy?
You cannot keep a cow in your home, but you can get the freshness of its milk straight from the farm into your home. Get fresh dairy milk for freshness straight from the farm every day. Fresh Diary, so fresh.
Discover the new invigorating taste of Red Vodka Lemon. Red Vodka Lemon. Reinvent the night. Not for sale to persons under 18.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90.
Welcome back on Spectrum tonight. The sudden death of Honorable Cerinah Nebanda. MPs beat about how investigations are being handled. What lessons can the country take from this tragedy? Our guests, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Omona, Keberamaido County MP from the NRM Party, Mr. Nicholas Opiyo, legal consultant at AKIJUL, and Honorable Atiku, Ayivu County MP from the FDC Party, joining us on the line. You're saying, very briefly before we get to hear from Honorable Atiku, you're saying police acted irregularly because this man had authority.
Now, what I'm saying is that if they really agreed, because I mean, issues there are ethical issues dealing with body parts research and examinations, especially now we are going to move them. But what we know, what we hear was that there was agreement. There was a meeting among the parties that were involved, and they agreed that part of this body, part of this specimen, be moved to South Africa for testing. Now, what we still want to understand is what happened after agreement, or after they had agreed. Why was the doctor again arrested while he was moving these body parts? Was there disagreement over procedural issues? Because what I know is that when you're going to carry out a test on certain specimens, you must agree on certain standards for consistency of results, that they are from the same source, they have been carried in the same conditions, so this kind of thing. But was there agreement on this or not?
Okay. Let's hear from Honorable Atiku. Honorable Atiku, okay, we still can't get hold of him. We'll get him and then he'll talk to us a little bit more about that. Nicholas Opiyo, why is there so much controversy regarding Honorable Nebanda's death?
Well, the rest we can say, first, it's just unfair before she's even buried that we can begin to speculate about these things. But I have before me here two press statements. One from the police. The reason the police gives for the arrest...
All right, Honorable Atiku is here. Let's hear from him, then we'll get back to the studio. It's safe for that. Honorable Atiku, do you have any fresh information? But even, without that, why do you think there is so much controversy regarding Honorable Nebanda's death? Give us your own view as an MP and one who's closely following this matter.
First and foremost, I may not conclusively give my view, but I'll express my fears about the safety and security of members of Parliament. Because if a member of Parliament is going to die under mysterious circumstances, and the agency that is supposed to help, first to guarantee our security, and secondly, should anybody involved in such a fatal situation that's supposed to help to uncover the truth of why such a person has died is also put in the picture of being suspect.
All right, we'll get back to you, Honorable Atiku. Nicholas Opiyo, talk to us about why do you think, in your own reading, why is there so much controversy about this particular...
Well, first, just two things. First, I think it's the timing of her death. She dies at a time when there was heated discussions in Parliament about the oil bill, a time in which the head of state then addressed Parliament in a very animated way, mentioned a group of people to which Nebanda was perceived to belong. So therefore, in those circumstances, you're bound to have suspicions. The second reason is that the events of the past 4 weeks have been, in my view, frightening. You have the Honorable Hussein Chanjo, who is still reeling from what he said to be poisoning. You have the Speaker of Parliament saying her life is under threat. You have a leading opposition leader addressing the press and say there are attempts to poison him. You have Ayivu now who claims that her maid was killed by way of poison, and nothing's done about it. So it's a correlation of other events that then leads to this suspicion. But also more importantly, I think, the reason the police is giving for stopping this doctor from from taking these body parts for investigations. They claim first that he's a civil servant. He shouldn't get clearance to travel out of the country.
He needs a pass, special pass.
Since when do civil servants need permits to travel? The second reason the police is giving is that he was exporting body parts. He was illegal smuggling body parts.
Smugglers should.
They quote no law in their lengthy press statement simply because no law was broken. They quote no law. I spent the whole afternoon today reading the Inquest Act that does with works of the coroner investigations, and I didn't see any law broken. The second reason is I have a press statement from the New Vision signed by Kabushenga Robert, in which he attempts to respond to a statement made by the late father in church during a requiem service, that a New Vision journalist approached him saying he should give a comment that the late died of a heart attack. So there's all these murky things going back and forth, and therefore in those circumstances suspicion are abound, and you just can't stop it. I've got endless messages from people who are telling me, be careful, you might be killed. This is the extent of fear and suspicion in the public, and unfortunately,
for doing what? What would you
just when the president seemed to have brought sanity when he addressed the nation yesterday, some dimwits in police behaved the way they did, and therefore then send us back to square one. I think that is the problem.
Honorable Omona, how do you tell a person died from poisoning?
Well, there are so many causes of death, and there are also so many chemicals, let me call it that way, that can cause death. Chemicals have got different effects on the body. There are chemicals that can affect the nervous system and shut you down. There are chemicals that can be simply destructive to the tissues, like say corrosive chemicals. If you drink corrosive chemicals,
it can destroy your body, your stomach lining.
Yes, cause bleeding or something like that. There are chemicals that can make you bleed, simply bleed, stop bleeding, you can't stop bleeding and you die. There are chemicals that will shut your oxygen uptake, and you can't run. So chemicals affect the body in so many ways. Now the best way that we can tell a chemical, I think the best way is through toxicological tests. Now these are tests that run that check, look at the chemicals. They test for the chemicals in the body. That can be tested in urine, can be tested in blood. Blood is good. Now, for cases of dead bodies, many of them don't change quickly, but if the person is still living, walking, many of these chemicals can be secreted in urine, and some chemicals can actually disappear from the body over some time. But when somebody dies quickly, and it's suspected could have been a chemical caused death, that can take some time. Actually, it can even exhume the body and still check for chemicals. That's why I think it is right if with Parliament if we think like it is now, sure, that for transparency, and if the specimens taken are suspected of being messed up with, I mean, since the body is still there, it's impossible.
Right.
To extract specimens from the body. It's very, very possible.
Honorable Atiku, you seem to be a little bit... Honorable Atiku with us on the line. Hello? You seem to be upset about police investigating this matter at a certain level. Why are you not very confident with them? How have previous investigations of this kind of matters ended?
But of course, you are aware, we have got a history of police doing investigations of what I would call crime and the position of after. Remember my uncle's case? Remember later you know? It was said that he died in an accident, but remember the vehicle in which he died was towed and taken into the garage. That very night he was having a good accident. Remember how Kazini, after now Kazini is still under investigation. and many others. And all this has been done by police. And as we talk, as we received the news of the death of our colleague, police was involved in all this. And they sat together with our commissioners and members of parliament to agree on how they should conduct this investigation. So that is different from other investigations that have taken place before.
All right.
And I think that will put some level of trust and integrity in the position of police.
Nicholas Opiyo, when can we okay.
The police to again arrest the person who has been given part of the party to go and do independent investigation so that all this can be analyzed by the team of specialists. All right. And they could give all the results from say UK and this one from our laboratory and then the rest of South Africa. All right. Together will give us an authentic information on the real cause of the death of our sister.
All right. Okay.
I don't would have been good for us, but now that the police again is the one that is involved in it, really, where else can we go?
Okay, Nicholas, when can we expect conclusive results from this? Looking at the statements we've had and looking at precedent as well.
Well, I don't know how to answer that question. When, tomorrow, next week, I have no idea. The process of investigation, what I can say is must be given its due course, must run its distance.
The president promised about a week.
So that we have conclusive information about what caused the death. Yeah, professionally done. Instead of tagging it to deadlines, and days, I think even the president perhaps could have just spoken to calm down, the people in this country. We have to emphasize on the process being credible. And I think for me, what really raises concerns is that in this day and age, we still want to take these samples to Israel, to England, South Africa. The police, we are told, was now well resourced. The police, we are told, now was, a modern police force. What is the police facility? What is the government facility for investigating this kind of crimes? We then begin to imagine that the police may not necessarily have the capacity, the capability to investigate this kind of crimes. And I think this must send alarm bells across the board, because it's not just Nebanda. The commissioner in the Prime Minister's office, Madam Alimadi, was poisoned in our office, in the Prime Minister's office. I have not heard about anybody being convicted. I have not heard about any report of investigations. I think we must begin to re-examine ourselves and ask our capabilities in investigating this kind of crimes. But also more importantly, we must begin to establish credibility in the police. If people don't trust our police, who will investigate cases?
All right. Maybe perhaps before we hear from the listeners, Honorable Omona, what kind of person was Honorable Nebanda the late?
Well, I don't know. Maybe a person like my brother Opiyo can describe.
Well, I can tell you, I've had interactions with her. In fact, a month before her death, we had a meeting with the U.S. Undersecretary for Human Rights, Governance and Labor. We had agreed to work on a couple of things together. She was a youthful person. She was outgoing. She loved hip-hop. She liked Zenith Zamba, if you want to know. She lived a fast life. She was really living a very, very fast life that for many mature people would border on being rather reckless. But that's the exuberance of youth. And that's the kind of person she was. She was passionate about what she was doing. She lived a very happy life. She loved to have fun. And she did all the things that a young person at that age would do.
The father would say if you took Nebanda Cerinah to watch the play in the theater, instead of watching what's on stage, you'd be watching what is behind the curtains. When she visited the clinic a number of times when I was there under the supervision of my uncle, every
until breaching your confidentiality clause.
No, this is
go on.
She's very inquisitive about any prescriptions, any investigations, why do you do them, how are these kind of conditions going. I mean, by the time she leaves the doctor, and I think if you're not a very informed doctor, you would be embarrassed to her or anybody who has come under her care.
Right. Well, she wasn't like you, really average 24-year-old. Very inquisitive, full of energy, exuberant, hopeful, optimistic.
Explosive.
All right, let's hear from you, the listeners. This is Spectrum. Tonight, the sudden death of Honorable Cerinah Nebanda. You can call in now. Our number is 0414-348-111, 0312-260-390, 0312-261-390. Spectrum, hello. Good evening, your name?
This is Nelson Hamba.
Hamba.
I come from the somebody we are so certain that what is this nothing common was suddenly. We're hearing about the romance, we're hearing about so many reports, we're hearing what the things that take place in everybody, the zero public. The president to handle over is uttering any word concerning our MPs. But we the people of Cerinah, we shall not give up on the fight. Well, we shall wish whoever did that the best in his or her life, but the builder, a very, very good girl, the massive girl of Bruce, a very young and big girl, whom Cerinah has never wanted from the kind of bad things in the parliament. We really hope and pray that the investigations that are being carried out by the team of experts at the parliament has agreed that come out with successful reforms the whole nation and the uncertainty of being exposed to the whole nation just in case they are for. Thank you so much for what I can rest in peace, Nebanda.
Spectrum, hello. Hello. Good evening, your name?
I'm going to be the guy going forward to you. It's very sad that you have lost a member of parliament who was really so vibrant in almost each and every he was really doing for this nation. And it is very sad that he died in the age of the youth of state whereby she was really the activist in doing almost everything good for the nation. But anyway, away from that, the issue of lawlessness really was really going so is really so rampant in this nation. People have infiltrated each other with this. Almost in every area. When you watch the television, you see many people almost, people are killing each one without thinking. You always see people dying like that. They are not human beings. I really don't understand where this nation is going on.
Spectrum, hello? Hello? Spectrum, hello? Okay. Hello?
Hello?
This is Spectrum, your name?
Yes, this is Lawrence from Mutungo.
Yes, Lawrence in Mutungo.
It's very bad to what you thought. It's Honorable Nebanda. But let's give the opportunity to the police, maybe think about it to come out with a concrete report about her death, just because we know we are down to
Sorry, Lawrence in Mutungo, we lost you there. You can still call back in. Spectrum, hello? Good evening, your name? Hello? Okay, Spectrum, hello?
Hello.
Yes, your name?
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Hello?
Yes, you're live on Spectrum, your name?
Yes, I'm called Ahmed.
Ahmed, yes?
I want to comment about the transfer of the sample. Okay, as a rule of procedure, knowing that this case is a lot of was dealt with and public interest, I think they're supposed to prepare an experience transfer agreement between administration and the recipient side, not like just playing the samples like the personal items. Because there has to be an assurance that the samples that are being transported are not being pointed willingly. This could be in some of the people who have contracted the sector, with the family, because it's pretty common sense that this case has a lot of implications and could have pretty ramifications. Someone needs to, someone needs to learn the people that the phone is kind of poison in the big samples will be okay. So I think in any particular case, the point is that
okay.
They should be a little bit more transparent.
All right, Spectrum, hello? Hello? All right, let's get back to the studio. Honorable Omona.
Thank you very much.
Go on, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Thanks to the callers, sure. Thanks for the concern. Now, I want to respond to the last caller. I think the last caller,
Ahmed.
Yes. Ahmed. Yeah. Ahmed was trying to talk about what exactly I was talking about here. Procedure issues, guidelines, and ethical issues concerning movement of body parts and so on. In fact, in many other countries, such investigations are done through very expensive insurance arrangements for to assure you are need assurance in terms of.
Okay, let's get a few more callers, just to respond to the level of interest. 2 more callers. Spectrum, hello. Good evening, your name? Yes, Mr. Mawanda.
I don't need to explain the fight. I have to process.
Very briefly and very quickly, sir. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ma. Let's take our final caller for tonight. Spectrum, hello. Hello.
Yes, Edmond.
Yes, very briefly, your name. Good evening. Very briefly. We've lost you, Christopher. We'll now come back to the studio. Omona.
Yeah, I was saying the last caller, Hamid, asked us about what we kind of discuss here, or issues on investigations using body parts. And I think this is what we need calm, both in Parliament and in public. Let's understand exactly what happened, because if all go out in temper, we may waste time and interfere with investigations. Some of these are done alongside a procedure, lay down guidelines. So we need to find out exactly, and I hope that when we come back on Friday, we'll be able to find out what exactly went wrong, what caused the interception of these specimens at the airport. But I want
is that enough time to get to conclusive results?
Yeah, as far as what happened, yes. I mean, to the consultation, all the teams that are involved, this will have to reconvene and find out what exactly happened, because what you know was that it was agreed in a meeting that part of the specimen had been taken away for examination in South Africa. So why was it intercepted? Was there floating of the procedure guidelines, ethical issues concerned here? So we need to find out that. But in all, I think I want to say that the public should remain calm. We need to give opportunity. Let's give chance to government and other stakeholders involved in this to find out the truth. And of course, also you cannot exclude police completely in this. They are involved in security. The first provider of security for every individual in the country is the state. Now, police being an agency of the state cannot be completely discounted in this investigation. They must be part of it, because they must take charge of security, although we are all responsible for our security also. So let's give a chance to police, especially work with these other agencies, in finding about the truth about this. You know, scientific issues cannot be produced with the urgency that is required through common opinion. It's not possible.
You can't merge the two. They can't work at the same pace necessarily.
That way. So as long as we still have to ensure the procedure, the process. Once the process is right, the process can be trusted. Then we give the scientists time to produce good results. Then we can debate on that. But for now, I think our common opinion. Let's keep our tempers down. Let's keep calm. We are all involved. We are all concerned about the death of our colleague. But let's give government, let's give police and other stakeholders to sort out these issues to make sure that we come out with the results that can be trusted by the citizens of this country.
Nicholas Opiyo.
You know, the president threatened that he would arrest, anybody speculating about this death.
You want to speculate?
The act of gagging public debate on the death of a very important person such as this, for me, in my view, was ill-timed. What it should have, I think, in my view, urged people was to debate this matter responsibly and be sensitive to the privacy of the family and to the feelings of the people who have lost their dear ones. That, for me, should have been the call, not a call to gag people from speaking about it, not a threat to arrest people who speak about it. I think that was ill-timed. In my view, it only helps to heighten speculation as to what it is they don't want people to discuss. I think that is, for me, a sad thing. And of course, What you do not know in Kampala here is the feeling in Butaleja. I had a colleague who was supposed to travel there today on a jealous program, and they had to have their trips cancelled because anybody driving a government car was being viewed as the bad guy. The cars were being stoned. Emotions are running very high. Emotions are running very, very high. Emotions are very high.
In Butaleja, they are stoning government cars?
The information I have is that one person turned away from Butaleja because government cars were being attacked. So you have emotions running very high. And Parliament, again, extending this up to Friday, I think is not going to make it any easy. It's going to be a bad Christmas.
Well, but you have to give it to the president. He has to keep the tempers low in order for the police to carry out their job.
Keeping tempers is to appeal to responsible discussion, not to gag debate. If you begin to gag debate, you heighten suspicion. You really do heighten suspicion. I think that what the president should have done, in my view, is told people, respect the dead, respect their privacy. In discussing what has happened, let's act responsibly. That would have been a more reasonable call to make.
Let's talk a little bit more about poison and the toxicology, the test that you undertake. What does poison attack? The most common poisons, what do they attack? Do they attack the breathing system? Do they attack the nervous system? Do they attack the blood system?
Now, Edmond said the most common poison. I don't know what exactly it means. Poisons exist. There is no any most common poison.
And speaking of a layman,
there's no common ones. We use them for rats, killing rats where rats exist.
Well, there are many substances also. I don't know what you call maybe elementary poison. Certain substances taken to a certain level, you reach what you call the toxic level, the body poisonous level.
Or even alcohol can be poison.
Yes, even alcohol can also be poison. Can damage your body, can damage physically, can damage the nervous system in the body, that can actually shut you down. I have not done much in my practice dealing with poison.
So you might not be able to help us.
But what we know is that poison, like I said, can either shut you down through shutting down your nervous system, can shut you down through through destruction of your body tissues, or can shut you down by actually prevent your body from taking up substances which are good for life. There's a good test for that through toxicological tests, and this is done by experts.
We have to go. And of course, the doctors are not a medical person by any stretch of imagination, but you have the 3 5s. 5 minutes without oxygen, you die. 5 days without water, you die. 5 weeks without food, you die. So the easiest way to die is to starve yourself of oxygen.
Now, when
we have to go. Thank you very much.
Without oxygen, you die.
We have to go. Thank you very much indeed. Our time is up. Honorable Dr. Kenneth Olusegun Omona from Keberamaido. He's a Keberamaido County MP. Thank you for coming to Spectrum. I'm also from the NRM Party. Nicholas Opiyo, legal consultant at AKIJUL. Honorable Bernard Atiku, Ayivu County MP from West Nile, also coming from the FDC Party. He was joining us on the line from Chireka, where Dr. Onziva is being held apparently. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Edmond. Spectrum will be back tomorrow. Up next is the news in English.
My greatest music hit of all time? The first time I heard the electric guitar on my father's record